how's it going? I'm Eternunique and welcome back to Let's Play the Lion King. Now that we finished off the main game, there's going to be some bonus stuff that I wanted to show off for this Let's Play. Starting off with 2 levels that I didn't show off in the main game. One of them being Bud Toss and the other one being Timon's Hunt, or like Bug Hunt levels. We're going to start off with Bud Toss first because it's the easier of the 2 games, and I say that with sarcastic voice because it's really not that easy. So in Bud Toss, you control Pumbaa as Timon is throwing these bugs down to you, and the whole gimmick of this minigame is to collect as many bugs as you can. As you can see, the rewind feature in the classics version really helps with this, and you can also make a save, so if you collect a lot of bugs you can save it and could keep going that way without having to restart. But in the original version, you had to use what you could, and that means making Pumbaa burp to reset the bugs. The more bugs you collect, the better off you are, because you can get like 1-ups, extra lives, all that stuff. Getting 21 bugs is not that bad, but that's pretty much it for that minigame. The other minigame, there's 3 different levels to this, and I'm only going to be showing off the first one because they kind of all play the same. They're just different level designs. And Bug Hunt, you don't want to fall on the spiders, apparently, like I just did. Don't do that. That was a stupid move. But in Bug Hunt, you go around collecting these little bugs, and you want to avoid the bad bugs, which is obviously the spiders and the bugs that will end the level. The more bugs you get on this, the better. You do have a timer, though, so be careful. You want to get as many bugs as you can within the timer. And you can get continues 1-ups and stuff from here as well. Again, the more bugs you collect, the better, because it's going to help you within your game. Especially if you're playing on difficult mode, because in difficult mode you start off with 0 lives. And you want to get as many lives as you can. This really helped on the original Super Nintendo version because, again, we didn't have these cheats. And if you wanted to play it legit, you had to do this. So that's really good. 2 really good mini games you could use to get like extra lives, continues, and stuff. Pretty much starting off the bat. You collect bugs throughout the levels to enter those mini games. I just didn't show them off in the main playthrough because I wanted to show them off as a bonus thing. So now that we've seen that, there's some other stuff I want to show off. The first being, in the Disney Classics version, there is some screen options you can change. And what I mean by that is if you hit pause and go down to screen options, you can see that we have some options here we can use to change our screen and how we play the game. This doesn't affect the gameplay, mind you, it just affects how the game looks as you're playing. You have these filters, you have different side screens, and you have a border if you didn't want to just look at the black screen. The border's pretty nice. It's just a generic border, but it's alright. It's not like too cringy to look at, you could say. But you have these different screen options you can play with in the Disney Classics version. Obviously, if you're playing the original Super Nintendo version, you don't have these options. You just have what they give you. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to go through these screen options and see what they look like. And of course, I'm playing on Simba's Destiny because it's my favorite level in the game. And I wanted to play it again. So, you have these different options though, and I think they look really cool. Some of them are a little weird. Like, if you go back down here to monitor filter, and then we'll just turn the border off. And let's make it a sharp screen. This looks a little weird because the screen's a little bit smaller, right? I don't know why you would play this on a smaller screen like this, especially if you're playing on Switch already and if you're playing in handheld mode. But it's there if you want to use it. Some people might like the smaller screen, but I personally rather have like a big screen because my eyesight is horrible and I don't like looking at a small screen where I can't hardly see anything. So alright, so that's that filter. Let's try the LCD filter and we'll put it back on full screen, and we'll turn the border back on just because. This, in my opinion, looks the worst. this looks bad for an old Super Nintendo game. And if you don't know what LCD stands for, it stands for Liquid Crystal Definition. I think that's what it stands for. Yeah. Oh, not definition, but display. I was close. Liquid Crystal Display. And for a Super Nintendo game, this does not look too good. Like, the colors are all, like, washed out in a way. Simba looks kind of bad. I would not want to play like this, especially through the whole game. But that's just my opinion. So, you can go and change these filters anytime you want to. You can even just leave it at normal, like I just changed it back to normal. And you could just have the border on if you want to. I'm not showing off the stretch screen because I don't want my video to be stretched out. But there is a stretch screen there, but you don't ever want to stretch your videos out for obvious reasons on YouTube. So, but it is there if you want to try it. I personally do not like the stretch screen because it puts it way too far out. So, but it's there if you want to try it for yourself. So, the next thing I want to show off is something that I didn't really get to show off in the main playthrough. I'm turning invincibility on because I want to show this off. And we're going to go to the Pride Rock level because we are officially in cheat mode. Like, we've been in cheat mode through this whole video so far, but we are officially in cheat mode. So what the invincibility does, you can't die. Like, you can die through, like, pits and stuff if you fall in a pit, mind you. But you can't die through enemy attacks. Like, Scar is hitting me, and I can get hurt, but I can't die. Because, see, like, my health is down to 0 there on the top left corner. But he can't kill me because I have invincibility on. This is the cheat my brother had remembered and got us through the game when we were first beating the game. Oh, and this move. This move is kind of like instant kill when Scar does that move to you. You want to knock him off as fast as you can because the longer he does it, he'll kill you. But because we have invincibility on, he can't do anything to us. All he can do is just like slap us around, and Simba's just like, okay, cool. So we're just gonna go ahead and end him off there. But that is the cheat my brother had remembered, and there's a way to input it on the original Super Nintendo version, which I'm going to show off here. So if you go down to options and you type in BARRY, you'll get this little cheat menu, and right there it says invincibility on. You can also type in RAAB to get another cheat, and this cheat is kind of interesting. So with the invincibility on, again, we can't get killed, but I'm going to show off something kind of funny that I had recently learned about, and I didn't know about this for years, but I wanted to show it off.
It starts.
Welcome to Upside Down Simba. So yeah, the RAAB cheat basically just flips Simba upside down. It doesn't change the level design, thank God, because that would have been a nightmare. But you also have what I like to call tank controls. And tank controls is basically weird. It's like reverse controls, like left is right and right is left kind of controls. And I'm going to be honest, I am not good at these controls. I have a hard time with them. In any video game that has them, I cannot do it. I have some friends and even my husband that can do them, but I personally cannot do them. So I'm like going to fail a lot here in this part. So yeah, that's a fun little cheat if you want to like try to play the game through being upside down. I personally would not recommend it because this game is hard enough, but I think that's kind of funny. And you can't do this cheat on the Classics version. It has to be on the original Super Nintendo version only, unfortunately. So yeah, if you're playing the original Super Nintendo version, you can use this cheat. But I kind of deserve that death because I can't control it. But yeah, that's a fun little cheat if you want to try that out. So now that we've looked at basically everything we can on the Super Nintendo version, let's take a look at some of the other console versions, starting with the Sega console version. there is some slight differences. For one, on the Sega version, the music's going to be different. I'm trying to think of the word. The sound effects are going to be different. And that's because there's different hardware between the Sega system and the Nintendo system for obvious reasons. There's the same voice acting, but it's a little bit different. The music is different here, as you can tell. It sounds a little bit different. The sound effects are different. I personally think this version is good. I never grew up with the Sega version because I never had a Sega system growing up. My brother and I was always the Nintendo / PlayStation people. But for people that had the Sega version, you guys got off lucky with this version because this is a good version of the game as well. I personally just prefer the Super Nintendo version because that's what I grew up with and that's what I'm used to. But maybe one day I'll actually play through this game again and just play it through with the whole Sega version because I thought this version was great for the little time that I played it on the first level here. I think it's great. There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. I think it's a good port. I like it. I really do. There's not really much I can say on it, but I like it. And if you prefer the second version over the Super Nintendo, I say go for it. Now, the Japanese version basically is the Super Nintendo version, just with some different text. As you saw there when we started off on Simba's Destiny level again, there was some Japanese text under the title, the level title, and the Super Nintendo and the Sega version also had different fonts for their titles as well, as you might have noticed when I was playing through the Sega version. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about it. But the Japanese version basically is the Super Nintendo version, just with different fonts, and it has the Japanese text under it as well. So there's one more version we need to show off, and I'm just going to show off the handheld color version because there's really no difference between the handheld color version and the regular Game Boy version. This is like Game Boy and Game Boy Color versions, by the way. I do not like this version. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I do not like this version. For one, you know, it's on a handheld, so it's gonna be a little bit different. It's also really laggy on the Classics version. Like, I am hitting those buttons fast, and it is lag. I don't like this version. Mind you, if this is all you had growing up, that's fine. Like, if this is all you had, then this is all you had. But I would prefer, myself, to play the Super Nintendo version. Because, again, that's what I grew up with, and I honestly think it's the better version of all three. Again, nothing wrong with the Sega version. I thought it was fine. But I prefer the Super Nintendo version myself. But yeah, this port of the game is bad. You can tell. Like, limited hardware, I get it. It's a Game Boy game, and it's a Game Boy Color game. But this version's kind of hard. Like, you only get like 3 hits and you're dead kind of version. But again, if this is all you had to play the game, I'm not gonna like be mean to anybody. I get it. This is all you had. You make the best of what you have kind of scenario. I just think if you have the Super Nintendo version or even the second version over this, your best bet playing that version. Because this is just, my goodness, I can't even get past the first level. I don't like this at all. The music sounds okay, and I know it's limited hardware, I get it, but this is just bad. Like, the controls are bad. I'm trying to jump over these porcupines like I do in the Super Nintendo version, and it's such bad lag that it's killing me. Like, see, I'm trying to jump over it, and I'm just instantly dead. So, yeah, I don't like that version. My statement's been made quite a bit on that one. So, So the last thing I want to show off is we're going to watch a Let's Play. No, I'm not joking. In the classic Disney Classics version of The Lion King and Aladdin, and now with the Jungle Book added in, you can literally watch like a video guide within the game. They literally put YouTube in the game. So it's literally just one of the developers playing through the level and showing you how to get through the level. And they play through the whole game. They show you where every secret is, how you can get through the game. It's kind of interesting, but I would prefer going to watch a video on YouTube myself if I wanted to watch this. Mostly because, you know, nobody's perfect. Not even the developers of the Classics version. I get it. But this is just kind of bad to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer you guys watch my actual Let's Play this. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. That's pretty much all I wanted to show off. I'm just gonna let this video play while I kind of give my closing thoughts on the LP. I'm so glad I got to redo this LP after years of wanting to redo it. This was my first LP that I had on the Eternunique channel, and with this year being the 10-year anniversary, I thought it would be fun to go back and, you know, go through the game again and do an LP, like a redo LP of the game again, because it's been over 10 years and obviously my commentary and my style has changed, and I wanted to just redo this game in general. This is one of my favorite games of all time, so I wanted to redo it. But I'm glad that everybody has enjoyed this LP. There's other games I want to do in the future that I want to redo as well. The Lion King was just the first one of it. I hope, you know, sometime in the future I can get to redoing like Metal Gear. I want to redo Kingdom Hearts again at some point. Those types of games.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Well said, 𝗪𝘳. Well said. So, yeah, I hope that in the future I can redo some of the older LPs that I've been wanting to redo again. Like I said, Metal Gear, Kingdom Hearts. I'm trying to think of some others that I've redone in the past. Probably won't redo Castle Crashers because that one was kind of a special LP with my friend 𝗏𝗏𝗏 back at the time.